Okay, so as the story goes, I bought this Riley Hopkins 6.4 screen printer, and it's got the joystick registration, which I haven't had a chance to try yet, but I have a pretty good understanding on how it works by way of needing to support it while you do it. I've heard good and bad things about it. I'm gonna try it, but I'm still fixing up the screen printer because the guy who had it for me was fairly messy, and he left the tape on the pallets, and apparently, as you can see here, the pallets are burnt, and there we go. The knob is missing off of it, so I ordered some knobs from McMaster's, but I thought about making some new pallets or buying them, but they're not cheap, and I don't really feel like making them when I already have the shape here and the actual press board that's under it looks like it's in decent shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this one over here, and the first thing, I'm going to resurface this, try and make it look brand new. So I'm going to show you step by step what I'm doing in case you want to do it. It's pretty straightforward, simple. If you have any idea of woodworking, it's nothing complicated, or you know, watch this, you won't believe what I'm doing. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. I'm taking a block sander with, I don't know, 100 grit, 160 grit, something like that. And the first thing I'm checking is if it's warped. And at first I thought this edge was flipped up, but it's cutting pretty evenly. And I go around to all the edges, and like right here, there's a chip. There was a chip here, but I was saying there's a chip here and a chip here. So I'll work around the entire thing. Low spots like this, I'll just sand across it and make sure that none of it's lipped up. And then I'm gonna come back with a filler and just, you know, dab some filler on there, and then I'll come back and sand the filler down to where it's smooth. I'm not gonna worry about the edges because the router table will router the edges. Every time I do a video, my text thing goes up. Alright, that's step one. And check it, see if I find anything sticking up, because when we glue the new piece on, you don't want a big air pocket stuck in there. And also I'm going to go around the edge with this rough one, and if for no other reason, to clean off ink and stuff. And I'll just do that, and then I'm going to go at an angle, but I think my router bit will have a little bit of an angle to it. So the next step is going to be, after I sand the edges, I'm going to glue a piece on, let it dry, put it on the router table, and then it should look like it has a nice brand new top. So I'll shoot that video when I do it. I'm not doing it right this second. So of course you won't notice that because I'll just edit it in. Peace. Okay, now we're going to apply the contact cement, and what I'm using is this stuff here, Weldwood contact cement. So give it a little stir. Once I get good coverage on it, I'll wipe across it and see if I can make sure it's semi-level. Okay, so now hopefully no gnats are gonna fly in it. Now this piece I have here has a crack in it, so I gotta remember where the crack's right here. So I'll go above that. Alright, so I'm gonna let those dry for 15-20 minutes. So I'm gonna set my timer for 15 minutes. Start. Alright. I'll check back. Alright, the recommended time was 15 to 20 minutes. I checked it at 15 minutes. And the majority of it's right. There's a couple of spots that still look wet. So, well, it all looks wet, but there's a couple spots where it's thicker. I may have put it on a little too thick. I'm gonna give it another 5 minutes for a full 20 minutes because it says, you know, if you don't put it together within 2 hours, you can just reactivate it. So I'd rather give it a little bit extra time than to try to put it together and it's not dry. All right, I'll check back. Okay, I think it's ready. So I'm going to do this on the floor because I have to put some weight on it. And just have to try and line this up so I know that we'll add a little bit of downward pressure along the edge there. There we go. Perfect. Now we'll check it tomorrow and router the edge. I'll check back then. Okay, we're gonna try to router this thing and see how it turns out. Yeah, that looks good. That looks really good edge. It's rolled over. I got a bit that has a little bit of a rollover to it, nothing special. I'm gonna have to move the camera though. Let me finish this up. All right, so other than needing to wipe it off, the edge turned out really nice. There's a couple spots where it's smooth, but it got jumped, and that's because that tip, you can see that black line, especially down here. That black line, that bit I have doesn't have a wheel. It's got, what's it called? It's just a nub that holds it away from it. But I'll really burn it up here a little bit. If nothing else, it'll harden it. Look, it's all glossy and shiny. But the edges did get rolled over, so it's all smooth. I might still take a 1000 grit sandpaper and just rake it down around the top edge here just to make sure there's no sharp edges that I can't feel. So we've refurbished one, sorta. I'm gonna have to check and see if these maybe thicker screws because it looks like it was pulling it apart, or move it to where the holes are up here now. You can see they've moved it once. I might get bigger screws and put it back in the original locations. See how that works. I'm also going to go ahead and buy this thickness board. Go ahead and trace a template on it and cut it out, maybe a little bit bigger for bigger shirts. Go ahead and make another set, and cover them with blue vinyl laminate instead of white, just for see how that works out. I'll post those when I make them. If anybody wants to see them, post below, and I'll be more adamant about or more on top of things to get it done. Everyone take care.